They weren't just lovers. They weren't just friends. Freddie Mercury and Mary Austin were something else entirely. Something few of us have the words to define. It wasn't just about music. It wasn't just about love. It was about soulmates in the truest and most unusual sense of the word. Freddie once said, "All my lovers asked me why they couldn't replace Mary, but it's simply impossible. The only friend I've got is Mary, and I don't want anybody else." Imagine that, being the center of someone's world, even when the world thinks you shouldn't be. But how did this connection begin? Let's rewind the clock. Imagine a love so deep, so complicated, and so enduring that it survives fame, heartbreak, and even death. That's the story of Freddie Mercury and Mary Austin, a bond that defied every label, every expectation, and continues to move hearts to this day. In today's episode of our Hidden Partnerships series here on Survive the Shows, we'll journey through their iconic connection. The woman Freddie once called his common-law wife, the muse behind one of Queen's most beloved songs, and the one person who truly knew the man behind the legend. If you love untold stories, emotional truth, and iconic relationships that shaped history, you're in the right place. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. It really helps us bring you more beautiful and complex love stories like this one. From the moment they met in that London boutique in 1969, Freddie and Mary's lives became inextricably woven. He was the enigmatic singer in a fledgling rock band, she a quiet fashion assistant arranging silk scarves and vibrant fabrics. Their first conversation was innocent, about styles, fabrics, and music. But as Freddie joked and laughed, Mary saw past the performer's bravado to a gentle, thoughtful soul. Within weeks, they were inseparable. They moved into a flat in Kensington together, filling it with second-hand furniture, posters of Bowie and Hendrix, and Freddie's growing stack of vinyl records. Mary kept house with quiet efficiency. She cooked simple meals of roast chicken and salad, washed his stage outfits in lavender-scented water, and greeted him after late studio sessions with a warm smile and unspoken acceptance. To Freddie, who until then had known only the loneliness of a touring musician, Mary's presence felt like home. As Queen's fame skyrocketed, first across the UK, then Europe, and finally the world, Mary remained his anchor. While Freddie dived headlong into the glamour of recording sessions, music videos, and sold-out arenas, Mary kept their routine alive. Morning coffee by the window, letters he penned during sound checks, and quiet evenings spent playing piano in their living room. When Bohemian Rhapsody climbed the charts in 1975, Mary was right there, dancing in stilettos, tears in her eyes, proud of the man who had once been simply Farrokh. In 1976, Freddie asked Mary to marry him. He presented her with a jade ring, soft green, symbolizing the steady growth he felt in their relationship. For a brief time, it seemed they truly would become husband and wife. But the pressures of stardom and Freddie's own journey of self-discovery soon complicated their plans. He began to realize that the man he saw in the mirror was different from the straight performer the world expected. His late-night conversations with bandmates and friends unveiled a side of his identity he could no longer hide. One evening, over wine and soft lighting, Freddie confessed to Mary that he was bisexual, more truthfully, that he was attracted to men. Her heart sank, but Mary's response was immediate empathy. With tears in her voice she said, "No, Freddie, I think you're gay." In that moment of raw honesty, they faced a crossroads. Yet instead of fracturing, their relationship evolved. They agreed to end their romantic engagement but vowed never to sever the bond they shared. Mary moved out of the flat above the boutique, but Freddie made sure she had her own home just down the street, so they could remain neighbors, confidants, family. Through the late 70s and early 80s, their relationship deepened in new ways. Freddie's lovers came and went, Mary remained the constant. During the creation of A Night at the Opera, Mary sat through marathon listening sessions, offering Freddie feedback on vocal takes and helping him choose the final track list. When he penned Love of My Life in 1979, he dedicated it to her. The tender melody and heartfelt lyrics captured the gratitude he felt for her companionship. As Queen toured the globe, Mary became part of the inner circle, handpicked by Freddie to join him on the road. In Tokyo, she cheered from backstage when he blasted "We Are the Champions" for a crowd of 100,000. In New York, she comforted him after a sound check gone wrong. And in Hawaii, she laughed with him on a yacht, carefree and at peace. They shared the highs of superstardom and the quiet moments when no one else was around to applaud. The mid-80s brought new challenges. Freddie's health began to decline after years of relentless touring and a lifestyle of excess. He confided in Mary when he first noticed strange symptoms: fatigue, weight loss, lingering fevers. She arranged doctor's visits, rode with him in hospital corridors, and learned about AIDS at a time when stigma and fear were rampant. Mary became his protector, insisting on confidentiality, shielding him from intrusive press and judgmental gossip. When Freddie's diagnosis finally became common knowledge in 1987, Mary was the first person he told. She took him home from the hospital, nursed him back to strength, and rallied the Queen team around him. Studio engineers remember Mary handing Freddie water between takes, her voice calm and soothing as he recorded tracks for Innuendo. On camera 4, The Show Must Go On, Freddie's defiant posture and soaring vocals were, in part, a testament to Mary's unwavering support behind the scenes. In his final years, as he retreated from public life, Freddie entrusted Mary with his greatest treasure, Garden Lodge, his London home. When asked why, he simply said, "She's the only family I have left." There, Mary kept his memory alive, preserving the walls adorned with Queen memorabilia, the grand piano he composed on, the stage costumes hanging just as he left them. She refused offers to monetize the property, insisting it remain a private sanctuary. After Freddie's death in November 1991, Mary faced a new role, guardian of his legacy. She curated his charitable donations, oversaw the release of posthumous recordings, and consented to the memorial concert at Wembley. Yet she never relinquished her privacy. When biopics and documentaries approached her for interviews, Mary declined, believing some stories are best kept sacred between two souls. Today, Queen's music endures, echoing in stadiums, sampling in films, and streaming across the world. Love of My Life still moves thousands to tears. But behind every soaring chorus and guitar riff lies the quiet story of Freddie and Mary, a partnership that transcended romance, that embraced identity, and that celebrated loyalty above all else. Their story reminds us that love comes in many forms, that the deepest connections aren't always labeled wife or husband, but coined in moments of unwavering support: a jade ring offered, a home bequeathed, a hand held through the darkest nights. If Freddie and Mary's extraordinary bond resonated with you, whether it was their unwavering loyalty in the face of changing identities, Mary's steadfast support during Freddie's triumphs and trials, or the way their connection transcended conventional labels, let us know by hitting like. If you haven't already, subscribe to Survive the Shows and tap the bell so you'll be the first to discover our next hidden partnership. Drop a comment below and share your thoughts. How do you define partnership? Have you experienced a friendship or relationship that changed your life in unexpected ways? I read every response and love hearing how these stories inspire you. If you're craving more heartfelt tales, check out our playlist of remarkable duos, from the Curie couple's scientific synergy to Hedy Lamarr and George Antheil's wireless revolution. You'll find them linked in the description. Thank you for joining me on this journey through David Bowie's Muse, Queen's Queen, and a love story that continues to uplift us all these years later. Remember, the most powerful partnerships are those built on truth, respect, and compassion, etched not on paper, but on our very hearts. Until next time, stay curious, stay compassionate, and keep celebrating the profound connections that have shaped our world.